let's move forward. Creating a patient profile. Now we're starting. You have everything registered. You have your devices ready to utilize. Now we have to get our patient profile set up. So this is the process. I'll go ahead and share the app with everybody in a moment here and start to show how to create that patient profile. So creating a patient profile, you could see here, I'm going to share the app one more time. I've started fresh and I've now just logged in. You could see I have the 2 choices of the profiles that I set up. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose my profile. And I go directly to that home page that I shared earlier. So now the question is, how do we create our patient profile? Well, on the bottom left, you'll see patients. And here you can see there's a demo patient already added. I'll click there and you can see that they have some information set up. But I'm going to now add a new patient. Top right, as you can see here, clicking add a new patient. Now here I could do an image of that patient. So I'll go ahead and do a photo, or you can choose one from your library, but let's just pretend that this is my patient right here. I don't have a great photo to show, but that will be my patient's face. Last name is Test, and first name is Joe. You have to enter a date of birth. That is mandatory for all patients. And so I'll enter a date of birth for this patient and hit OK. Now, that is all the required information for the patient. You can click their gender or their gender assigned at birth, and then the rest is optional. You can choose any anthropometric characterizations that you need, or you can get rid of that by clicking this toggle tab. If you want to add in contact information, you can add that as well. Any medical information, medical history, this can all be added directly into the app. Or if there's any other additional information, marital status, job, leisure, sports, that can be added. Once that's all set for your patient, you hit continue. You do need to agree to keep personal data and agree to share data anonymously for that patient. And then you need the consent from the patient as well. And that's typically, they'll either consent manually or in your intake forms. You'll hit continue, and you can either make another patient at the same time, or you can go directly to their patient profile. So now you can see we're directly in that patient's profile. If I go back, that top left, you can see there's a demo patient. That's the original one. And now you can see this new patient, Test Joe, that I set up. You click on that patient and you have a few different options. If you wanted to invite that patient to this data, to this information, you can click on that and you can send them an invitation by entering their email address. You can also share their profile with an associate, and you can add an associate's account and you can put their email address here as well. So there are different ways to share this data and information. Those are 2 very useful tools. Now, if you look at targets right here and you see this little crayon or pencil, if you click on that to edit, here's where you can provide target management. You can identify if it's a medical issue. You can identify if it's a performance issue. And you can also identify if it's injury prevention that you're focusing on. So for the medical issue, you can highlight a body region, for example, this rib area, and you can provide what the medical diagnosis is, or there are more items where you can go in depth into their actual medical diagnosis. You can go back to this edit stage. You can look at performance. If you're working on performance with an athlete, you can show power and then the region you're trying to improve performance, maybe their force, and you can identify all of these as targets. And again, if it's an injury prevention patient, we can discuss that we're trying to prevent, for example, injuries in this body region. You can hit OK, and then that is highlighted in the area and the body region for this patient. So when you log in, you know that everything is here for the patient as you look at them in a profile, this kind of quick snapshot. So once all of that is set up, you have all the patient information added. You have the mandatory and the optional fields that you can put in. You've put in medical history. You've agreed to data protection. You've identified these targets, whether it's a medical issue, whether it's injury prevention, or whether it's performance. You now have the ability to start testing with this patient and start utilizing their profile. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the PowerPoint right now. And these were the steps that we just went through.